The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 20. 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ready, at 25. Yo.
They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up.
A first carry for the tailback, Devontae Freeman. Tackle made by the second-round pick, Isaiah Oliver.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on second and 8, Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's third down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the pass. Check three. Hey, 59, ready.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second and a couple. Ryan, he's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And some room to roam now. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 33 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack on first down, Ryan, and he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To throw is Ryan. He'll take his shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And a short return to the 6-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see.
Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman, 94 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 2, Ryan. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. On 1st down, Freeman. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Hey, 61, matchbox light.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And he hits his target. This is Luke Stocker. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23.
59, ready, 280. Let's go. Space.
On 1st down, Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Freeman. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12.
Let's get it now. Check. 59, Mike. Hey, exit.
From the shotgun, Ryan. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Hey, orbit. Gotta go.
From the gun, Ryan toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Ryan, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He's looking for Ridley again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd down and 10.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
He's not going to get me.
To throw again. Ryan looking downfield for Jones. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
For Julio Jones, incomplete. Demonte Casey on the coverage.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 66 yards. And the Falcons cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Julio Jones all alone. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, 72 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he takes this one back into the end zone of the Falcon defense.